No mai, haere mai. Hello and welcome to your Intro Education session on the Upgrade 2024. There are some general changes which will affect all users. The first is that Momentum has been bought by Civica, so there will be a name change in the software. We are going to refer to the assessment software going forward as the Intro Assessment Software, or IAS. When you log in after the upgrade, you will see their new branding inside the software. The next major change is very exciting. We are moving to a single page application for our assessments. This is also known as SPA. You can watch a further video of the SPA and information on how to navigate this on our website. There is also a new mobile application which is replacing check-in, check-out. The mobile application and SPA will be available for home care, contact, palliative care, long-term care facilities and the acute care assessments. Currently, ACC contacts will not be moving to SPA or the mobile application. You can watch a video for more information on the mobile application and how to install it on our website, or you can refer to the What's New document for a guide on how to install this application. Let's take a look at what changes there are in the home care assessment. In Section A, you will find a new item for rented dwelling and sector landlord. These have been added as a part of the New Zealand customisation with the intent to determine if a person is living in a rented dwelling and if so, who the landlord is. This is because as a person ages or has increased vulnerability on the reliance of rented accommodation, it can cause additional stress, such as competing for and securing affordable, adequate housing, having choice over who they cohabitate, and the length of their tenancy, as well as an increased risk of having to move. This can create additional stress where the person is reliant on formal and informal support services, depending on the access to these in their area, as well as having access to things like their medical centre. It is important to know whether an older person is a tenant or living in a rented home because they are noted to have higher health risks and a higher probability of social isolation. They are also less likely to access health services and collect their prescribed medications. We know they have an increased vulnerability of having to move, facing excessive housing costs, and more likely to be living in a dwelling of poorer condition and unable to implement modifications, either because the landlord will not allow this or the tenant is unable to afford this. The latter is particularly important because some low-cost modifications are not subsidised. Older people who rent and typically have lower incomes may be unable to pay for the cost of these unsubsidised low-cost items. These issues will need to be taken into account when you are care planning. Knowing someone lives in a rented home may mean your care plan needs to include referral to services outside the usual range of health and in-home care. This may include things like referrals to a housing tenancy support agency, a referral for a home assessment, referral for tenancy advocacy, support in finding alternative, more suitable housing, interventions to insulate and heat the home and to prevent injuries, or referral to budget services. If a person is living in a rented dwelling, we also want to find out who the landlord is. This is because community housing providers, the council and Housing New Zealand tenancies are likely to be more secure than those of landlords. They often also come with income-related rents, making rentals more affordable, and Housing of New Zealand has an arrangement with the Ministry of Health for funding and carrying out of home modifications. For this item, it has conditional coding, so depending on how you code the first item, rented dwelling, will determine if you go on to code the sector landlord. Only when clicking rented dwelling will the sector landlord appear. There is also a new look for Section M medications. In M1, you will no longer need to load every medication separately. Now you will just count the total number of medications that have been taken in the last 7 days. This includes medications taken regularly, occasionally, and as a part of a maintenance schedule. It counts both prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, but does not include supplements like vitamin C or fish oil. If the person has taken 15 or more, then you will enter 15. These items are not in your coding manual and you will need to refer to section help if you need any assistance. There is a new layout to Section O for Advanced Directives and Advanced Care Planning. These are a part of the New Zealand customisation and are specific to New Zealand. These changes were requested by the Health Quality and Safety Commission of New Zealand, with the purpose to improve the quality of data about advanced care planning. This aligns with the 2016 Health Strategy and the Healthy Aging Strategies, and is consistent with the purpose of Interi, which is to fully understand the person's needs, improve their care, and support decision-making by health professionals. Improving the coding of advanced care planning not only benefits the person, as it helps better inform where they are at with the process and what further supports they may need, but it also helps to improve the usability of data to monitor the access to advanced care planning across New Zealand. The population who have Interi assessments are a priority population for advanced care planning. Let's now take a look at the intent of this section. The intent is, has the person had the opportunity to consider their own advanced care plan and to be supported to talk about and document their goals, hopes, worries and preferences, and any advanced directives. An advanced care plan is defined as a dynamic document which may include advanced directives. Advanced directives are where a person consents or refuses to a specific treatment that may or may not be offered when the person is no longer able to speak themselves. These can be verbal. We also have treatment restrictions. These are where a medical instruction by a health practitioner has been written and signed. This would be, for example, a do not resuscitate order. You can find more information on these in the section help when you conduct your assessments. 4 new outcome scales added in the home care assessment. The first is the Caregiver Risk Evaluation Scale, or CARE scale. This has a scale range of 1 to 4 and can be used in conjunction with other outcome scales already in your assessment, which identify functional, clinical, and behavioural challenges that increase carer burden. The higher the score indicates a higher risk of experiencing caregiver burden. This should act as a flag for you and can be used when considering care planning in response to the triggered and non-triggered caps, such as the institutional risk cap or informal support cap. The next scale is the frailty scale. This has a scale range of 0 to 27. Frailty in its early stages may be reversible. Therefore, the early detection and intervention of this may help prevent deterioration. The higher the score on the scale is indicative of increased frailty. The next scale is the first fall risk scale, which has a scale range of 1 to 6. This helps identify risk factors of a fall occurring. For care planning, you can then consider what factors are modifiable. This differs from the current fracture risk scale, which is already in your assessment, which highlights the risk of a person having a hip fracture within the next year of their assessment. The final scale that you will see is the composite mood scale. This is made up of 2 separate scales, the clinician-rated mood and the self-reported mood, which both have a scale range of 0 to 9. When combined together, this considers both the person's perspective and clinicians' views to provide a sensitive and robust measure that considers mood disturbances related to dysphoria, anxiety, and anhedonia. For further information on these scales, please refer to our website for the What's New document. Information will also be updated in the workbooks found on the ILND site. We are here to support you. If you need any help, please refer to the Interae website where information around the upgrade is stored. You can use the QR code to scan to take you to that website now. You will also find information in your workbook units which are saved on the ILND site. These will be updated and released at the time of the upgrade. Feel free to watch the other recordings of the Skill Booster sessions on the ILND site as well. Ngā mihi he nui. Thank you for listening to our presentation. If you need any further assistance or help, please don't hesitate to get in touch.